Long time no see, and it's time to delve back into the Tool discography for my Summer of Discography reviews. So as it stands right now, I have reviewed their two debut EPs, 72826, the demo album, and Opiate, respectively, released in the years 1991 and 1992. So now in a similar fashion, we will move on to their debut first feature-length album, Undertow, which was released in the year 1993. I wish all bands released yearly albums. That would be fucking amazing. I remember when Black Sabbath released 2 albums a year. Why can't bands do that nowadays? I don't know. Anyways, I got a little bit off tangent, but now we will be taking a look at the first feature-length studio album released by the band Tool. So this is basically where they get the mainstream media attention, albeit some positive and some negative. So beginning with the attention getters of people who like to censor things. Not sure about the name right now, but not sure what they're called, but they wanted to censor the album cover, which is weird because it's just a rib cage of something. I don't know what it is, but it looks like a rib cage. They wanted to censor the cover, and in the liner notes, they had a bunch of photos, objectionable photos of one is a nude woman, and the other one is of the lead guitarist, I believe, with pins sticking out of his head, something like that. Which I have to say, what the fuck? Okay, why? Why does it matter? You know? Like, you look at some past covers by other bands, they don't get any flack, you know? Like, for example, AC/DC has a cover of the lead guitarist getting electrocuted. His hands are wires, and he's getting electrocuted practically to death, it looks like. Looks painful. But no one gave a shit. So I don't know why people are getting, all up in arms about this. But, I can kind of understand the nude woman, but, why the whole cover? Maybe it was the band's choice. Who knows? Moving on. This album is basically the album where they take every element that they had in their 2 EPs and kind of, mix it up with a little bit of an alternative metal style. Like, the crunch of the guitars is still there, and the grunge aspects of the demo and Opiate are still there, but they add a bit of metal to it, making it a bit harder, a bit heavier, and a bit faster. So, delving into the actual album itself, it kicks off with the song Intolerance, which is an excellent song. Like I said, I love Tool's guitars in this one. Overall, I just like Tool for the guitars, so probably my favorite part of them. But I do like how the song is structured as well. My only gripe with this, as well as a few other tracks, is this song has like 20 seconds of silence in the beginning, or just like random noise building up to something, but it could be a little louder. You could be letting your listeners know that you're actually like moving on to something, you're getting to something, instead of just kind of flat, no point, just silence. So that's really my only gripe with it. Other than that, it's a really good song. Let's see, Prison Sex, next one. This is more of a jumpy kind of beat. It's all over the place. It's not necessarily faster, more mid-tempo, like some of the songs on here. There's no real thrashers, I suppose, but that's more of a grungy kind of post-metal thing on this album. This is more of like that, in that nature. So, getting into the album, the next one, Prison Sex, like I said, is good. The next one is taken off of the demo EP, the 72826, and it's entitled Sober. So I actually like this one a bit better, albeit the bass is better on the demo, and it sounds a lot rawer, if that's even a word. It sounds more raw on the demo, but that's just because of its nature. It's a demo, Like, what do you expect? I like the production value posted on this, presented on this song, and I like the guitar. So basically, you're getting Sober with a higher quality. So that's basically what it is here. This is about 1.5 times better than Opiate, I would say. I'm not going to say double, but the Opiate, the quality presented on Opiate, is pretty much, studio quality, studio album quality. So I'm not going to knock it, but this is definitely better, in my opinion. So I don't know if they had different producers or not, but it definitely sounds better. You can hear the crunch. You can hear the bass and just everything. The singing is phenomenal, and just a really good song overall. So the next one is Bottom, and this is one of the longer songs, clocking in at 7 minutes and 14 seconds. So I really like the beginning intro riff to it. I don't know, I just really like how heavy it is, and just like I said, the crunch of the guitars, how grungy it sounds. Like I said, it was released in 93, so you got a lot of those grunge-ish elements to it. So my only problem is it goes on for far too long. 7 minutes and 14 seconds is a huge just kind of discrepancy for any kind of band to try and release songs at that length. You gotta be really careful when releasing these longer songs, because you'll lose the listener's attention if it's not spot on. So that's kind of what happened here. Is the song itself is good, but it just kind of drags on for a little bit. It's a little bit overbearing in the or overblown in the chorus, or in the just main structure of the song itself. So, other than that, I do enjoy the song. I do listen to it from time to time, but it does kind of venture on into paths of wherever the fuck they want to go. So, the next song is Crawl Away, another one from the two EPs. And this one, like I said, it's basically the same thing, but with better quality. And I do like it, because, like I said, the quality of production on this album is just phenomenal. So you got the crunch of the guitars, you got the awesome bass, the drums are just spot on. And like I said, I really like the structure of the song overall. So, getting into it, my favorite song on here has to be Swamp Song. I just love how swampy it sounds. I mean, it does sound a little ironic because of its name, but it definitely lives up to that. It lives up to its namesake just in the name. Irony. But the lyrics are phenomenal. The singing is just spot on, especially for what they were going for. It's a little bit slower, but I do like the riff structure, especially with the guitars. It just fits. I don't really know how else to describe it. It just fits, and it's my favorite song on the album. Then we get to the title track, Undertow. Really like the intro riff and the structure overall. The singing is really good on it, and, some standout moments, especially with the intro riff, like I said, and the structure is just very spot on. Doesn't really keep you going, doesn't really keep you waiting for a while, like it did on Bottom, but we'll see a little bit more of that after this track. So, 4 Degrees, more of a filler track, not really the bad track on the album, not really the amazing track. It's a little slower, and it kind of drags on, much like the Bottom song did. But other than that, it has some good elements to it. It just drags on for far too long for me to recommend it. The next two songs, Flood and Disgustipated. This is where the album took kind of a downturn. I mean, I don't really like these songs at all. I mean, I'm just getting into this band, but maybe the music videos are trippy or something. Maybe the music videos are good, if there are any, but I'll have to check that out. But when you put a 15-minute track where half of the song is silence, I mean, why? This is the only problem I have with this album, is the silence. Flood has the same thing. It has silence in it and just random noise. It's just, I don't really like songs like that, I guess. Maybe they're trying to experiment with some stuff. I can kind of see that, but when you get a little bit into Disgustipated, it picks up a little bit, but then it kind of drops off again and it picks up. So I don't really like this song at all, and it's kind of a crappy way to close the album. Other than that, though, the album's gold. I really like it. The first 7 tracks. The first 7 tracks are just pure excellence. Even Bottom, which I said, it dragged on. I am used to it and I can listen to it, but as far as, just getting into it, that's how I felt. Was it kind of dragged on a little bit, and the singing was just kind of a little bit muffled, now that I think about it. But 4 Degrees, it's kind of one of those cases where it's just the entire song is like that. At least Bottom had the intro and the crunch, just the heavy crunch of the guitars to kind of slide it through a little bit and make it easier to listen to. But this one, like I said, 4 Degrees, not really my favorite. So first 7 songs, golden, love them. After that, it's kind of a downturn. But this album as a whole, I would recommend it, because Tool is, so far that I'm listening to them, they are an amazing band. They combine grunge with experimental metal and post-metal, as well as a bit of heavy metal thrown in there, but so it's a lot of metal mixed with grunge. So it's basically a combination of, say, Alice in Chains and Metallica or something. Heavy metal Metallica, I don't know, or Black Sabbath maybe. That's more of a good comparison. Tool is Alice in Chains meets Black Sabbath a little bit, with the metal thing in there. But overall, I would probably rate this album, I really want to rate it higher than this, but I can't, because of the last 3 songs. I'm going to rate it an 8.5 out of 10, because I really do like this album, but the last couple songs, it's just kind of, I can't get into them. And I like I like the previous songs. I like the 7 songs. Perfectly fine. Amazing album, amazing songs. But the last 3 songs kind of ruin it for me a little bit. So 8.5 out of 10. And that's my final verdict. I really do like this album, and I do encourage all of you to kind of see for yourself as far as to what you like and what kind of music you're into. So don't just take my word for it. Just go out, buy the album, or whatever, however you listen to it. Go find it on YouTube or something, and if you like it, go and buy the album, because it is a really good album, aside from the last 3 tracks. So with that, this is Midnight Strike 3625. Keep calm and rock on.